Before we begin, and I mean this, I need you to understand something. What you're about to hear is not fiction. The doll exists, the box exists, the museum exists, the reports exist, and the questions have never been answered. Connecticut, 1970. Third floor apartment, 2 bedrooms, 2 nursing students, Donna and Angie, 20 years old, their whole lives ahead of them. Textbooks on the table, coffee going cold, a radio playing something forgettable in the background. And on Donna's bed, a rag doll, a gift from her mother, a Raggedy Ann, button eyes, sewn smile, 12 inches of cotton and synthetic stuffing. Harmless, or so it seemed. Come back with me, because to understand what this doll became, you need to see what it did, step by step, week by week, how something that should not have been possible happened. You're in the apartment. It smells like cold coffee and medical textbooks, like a radiator burning dust. It's November, dark by 4 in the afternoon. Come, witness this with me. Connecticut, early 1970s. Post-Woodstock America hasn't fully sobered up from the 60s. On college campuses, people talk about peace, about freedom, and late at night, in dorm rooms with candles burning low, they talk about Ouija boards, about spirits, about reaching through. It wasn't naivety, it was the times. Donna and Angie's apartment is exactly that. 2 smart, rational women during the day, curious ones after midnight. Posters on the walls, shared kitchen, a bathroom with tile peeling in the left corner. What happens over the following weeks is documented in the Warren case files, in the women's own testimonies, in interviews given years later by both of them. This is not a single witness account. These are multiple voices saying the same thing. Week 1. The doll is on the desk where Donna left it. The next morning, it's on the bed on the other side of the room. Donna frowns. Must have been her. She doesn't remember, but it must have been her. Week 2. The doll is on the floor, on its knees, with its hands, cloth hands, no joints, no bones, resting on the edge of the sofa, like it had been trying to get up. Donna does what any rational person would do. She ignores it. Week 3. There are notes in the apartment. Small pieces of paper, torn from a notepad that neither of them owns. Written in pencil, childlike handwriting, shaky, like someone still learning to form letters. Help me. Do you want me to stay? What comes next is documented in multiple testimonies, including Lou's, Angie's boyfriend, who for weeks had been saying something was wrong with that doll, who didn't want it in the apartment, who had nightmares about it. One night, Lou falls asleep on the couch. He wakes up. He cannot move. Sleep paralysis has a scientific explanation. We all know this. The brain wakes before the body. It's common. Terrifying, but common. But Lou looks down, and the doll is at his feet. It moves slowly, up his body, his legs, his chest, until it reaches his throat. The cloth hands close around his neck. In the morning, there are bruises. Donna and Angie contacted a medium. The medium told them the doll was being inhabited by the spirit of a 7-year-old girl, a child named Annabelle Higgins, who had died on the land where the apartment building was constructed, who was lonely, who wanted to stay. Donna felt compassion. "You can stay," she told the doll. It was the greatest mistake she ever made. Now, and I have to be honest with you here, the name Annabelle Higgins has no independent historical confirmation. There are no death records matching that name at that location. Because Ed and Lorraine Warren, when they arrived, believed the medium had been deceived, that there was no little girl, that the story of the child was exactly that, a story told by something that knew precisely what to say to get inside. Ed and Lorraine Warren were real, paranormal investigators with decades of documented cases. Controversial, skeptics and believers argue about their methods to this day, but their archives exist, their recordings exist, their case files exist. In 1970, Donna called them. Based only on what we know, only on what is documented, I'm going to reconstruct this, not fiction, factual reconstruction. Ed Warren enters first, dark coat, leather bag with a recorder inside. He's seen too much, far too much, but he stops at the bedroom door. Lorraine, always described as the sensitive one, stays back in the hallway. Later, in documented interviews, Lorraine Warren described what she felt in that apartment. It was not a child's presence. It was something far older, far more calculated. It used the story of the little girl as bait, so the women would lower their guard, so it could get in. Ed Warren's conclusion, documented in his case files: the doll was not possessed, it was infested. The difference within the Catholic demonology the Warrens practiced is critical. Possession is control of a human being. Infestation is anchorage within an object, a foothold, a door that once opened allows influence over the space and everyone inside it. The doll was not the monster. The doll was the key. A Catholic priest performed a blessing in the apartment. The doll was placed in a bag in the back seat of Ed Warren's car. Ed drives, Lorraine beside him, the doll in the back. The car begins to behave erratically. The steering pulls, the brakes respond late. On 2 separate occasions documented in Ed's field notes, the car nearly left the road. Ed sprinkled the doll with holy water. The problems stopped. They arrived home. Ed placed the doll in an armchair in his study. The next morning, the doll was not in the chair. It was across the room, on its knees. The Warrens built a specially treated glass case, Catholic blessings on the interior walls, consecrated wood, glass that neither magnifies nor distorts. A Jesuit priest visited the case and, according to the Warrens, looked at the doll and said, "You're just a doll. You have no power here." The priest was involved in a serious car accident on his way home. He survived. Monroe, Connecticut, today. The Warren Occult Museum exists. It operated for decades as part of the family's private property. Lorraine Warren passed away in 2019. The museum continues under family management. The doll is still there. The glass case has a notice on the outside. Warning: paranormally active object. Do not touch the glass. Do not open the case. Visitors over the decades have reported nausea near the case, cameras that fail, batteries that drain instantly. These visitor accounts are anecdotal, unverified. I include them as part of the case's living history, not as evidence. What is verifiable? A rag doll in a box in Connecticut. 2 investigators who spent their lives documenting the impossible. 3 young people whose lives changed forever in a college apartment. Bruises on a man's neck. Notes written without a notepad. The Annabelle case remains open, not because of the Hollywood franchise that turned it into a horror series, but because the original questions have never been answered. What moved the doll? What wrote the messages? What left marks on the skin of a sleeping man? Donna and Angie never sought publicity, never sold their story. They wanted one thing, that whatever was in that apartment would leave. They got what they asked for. But the question no one can answer, the thing that was inside that doll, where is it now? The most disturbing story isn't the one you can't explain. It's the one you almost can. Have you ever seen a mysterious figure in the dark? A shadow you can't explain? Share your story in the comments or send it to crypticzoneofficial@gmail.com.
Thanks for watching.